G'day everyone, my name is Maddie and I'm a bird keeper here at Australia Zoo. One of the most frequently asked questions we do get while we're hanging out with our emus is how do you tell the difference between an emu and a cassowary? Well, today I'm going to show you. I know, good morning. Come on, Shannon. We have Richard over here having a snooze. We have Shannon in the middle, and then we have Chris hopping into her tucker. So emus and ratites in general, so your ostriches, your kiwis, your cassowary, all different types of ratites like that, they are actually very playful birds. A lot of the time these guys, especially into your afternoon, they get what's called zoomies. It's like your dogs at the dog park hooning around. These guys are no exception either too, so they just look 10 times more hilarious with their giant legs. It just looks hilarious because it looks like they're having a great old time. So this habitat is really big to accommodate for emu zoomies. The legs are incredibly strong though. These guys can run very, very fast, but they do not have that claw that the cassowary have, which is mainly used to cut open fruit, but it is also serrated on the bottom of the claw too, so it can also be used as a weapon in defense. Usually it would be around breeding season when a couple of males could be fighting over a potential female or something along those lines. Another really cool difference is their habitat. So these guys, as you can see, prefer a really arid sort of environment, nice and open, big trees, sort of like an outback station, I guess. Whereas your cassowaries prefer a really sort of thick jungle with lots of tropical fruit and things like that. You're gonna find them far north Queensland, especially the Daintree and places like that where it's really humid. And they also have those striking colours, whereas your emus, they just have that beautiful blue there. But our southern cassowary, you have the wattle, and they've got their beautiful red and blue colours once they've matured as well, which is very cool. Oh yeah, that's a bush turkey. Yeah. This is a bush turkey feather, and it's a little bit ratty, but it is very different to our beautiful emu feathers. Not many people know this either. So a lot of birds, you just have your solid feather like that, whereas our beautiful emus and a lot of our ratites actually have split feathers. So it comes from one feather shaft there and splits into two beautiful ones there. So a lot of the time when you do touch emus and cassowaries, their feathers are actually quite rough, they're not really soft. And then we actually take it a step further and we collect these daily and we actually put them in Grace's bird garden and give them to our finches for nesting material. So it's very cool to see them, a tiny little finch flying through the garden with a giant emu feather trailing behind it as well. I don't know if you could hear it before, we call it booming. She's doing a really deep booming noise. So these guys do that to communicate, and as they go into breeding season as well, they communicate, boom to each other, puff their chests out. Yeah. Your cassowaries can have the same kind of thing as well. Their vocalisation is a lot deeper. They puff right out to put the sound out. Sounds like when you park up next to a car and they've got really loud music on with really heavy bass. That's what your cassowary sounds like, which is very cool to be around. And then probably the biggest difference is that emus, they don't have these, but our beautiful cassowaries have a casque. That is the big shape that is on top of their head. We don't exactly know the full use of it. Scientists are still researching and looking around as what it could be used for, but it's definitely the thing on them that a lot of people say makes them look like a dinosaur, which is very cool. They have a layer of keratin as a protective coating over the casque, and then on the inside, it's a spongy type material as well, and it continues to grow for their whole life. So a lot of the time with an older cassowary, you'll see them, it actually starts to sort of curve over and looks a bit beat up. That's because it just continues to grow with them. And it's been really cool to watch Laura and Fergo, our young ones, see them from really young and then growing up now. They've started to get those beautiful colours and their casque has started to grow as well. And it gets bigger every time I see them as well, which is really cool. So there you have it. Those are some of the main differences between our emu and our cassowary. Next time you're in at Australia Zoo, make sure you come and check them out for yourself.